Evening. Welcome to Movie Highlights, the channel that um, supports movies that have either been overlooked or movies that are well known, but that I feel that are classics and that are some of my personal favorites. You may or may not agree with me, and that's fine. It's not a debate channel. It's not even a review channel. I'm not reviewing the movies. I'm just highlighting some of my personal favorites, and I hope they find a wider audience if they have not already. Tonight's title is a movie that I love dearly, and this one's kind of a newer one. It's from 2017, and this one is called Dunkirk. And this is the one that this is directed by Christopher Nolan, came out in 2017, and it's about the British and Allied troops in France who are trying to escape the enemy, which was then France was then occupied by Germany at that time, and Germany was closing in, and during World War II, excuse me. And what Christopher Nolan does to make this story interesting, he shows it from three different perspectives. He shows it from the air battles with the planes at the time that were going on. He shows it on the land, the people who had got as far as the beachfront and had no way of escaping, so were doing the best they could to maneuver and or outmaneuver, I should say, the enemy from them being caught, but also watching bombs that were being dropped from the planes war at the same time. But then he also shows it from the sea, where civilian and military boats were coming to try to aid in the rescue of however many people they could. They knew they probably couldn't get them all, but however many they could. And Christopher Nolan is a very wonderful director. I love his Dark Knight, the Batman films that he directed. I love Memento, one of his first independent films as far as I'm aware of. And Inception was another favorite of mine. This man makes movies that make you think, and you have to stay aware, and you have to be alert and pay attention to what's going on. But this one, it looks like he tries something different. And even though the dialogue in the film is very minimalistic, and what I mean by that is, in a lot of movies, you have dialogue to carry the story to its next place. But in this particular film, it's almost as if Nolan used the dialogue just to propel certain elements of the story to keep it going forward, so you know what was going on, or per pure character motivation. So the characters here are kind of free to respond and react the way that we would have we been under attack. So it's a very good film. It's a very wonderful, well-crafted film. The special effects in this are awesome, but more importantly than that, the story is fantastical. Something that we all can deal with and understand is survival. What if you're placed into a very rough situation? How would you survive? What would you do to get out of there? If you're on a beach and you're watching out for bombs up ahead from out of the sky, but you're also watching people shooting at you while you're there on the beach, but there's the ocean and you have nowhere to go, you're trapped. What do you do? What if you're in a plane and you're being followed by bad guys, but you're also trying to help your fellow compatriots out who are flying alongside you and who may be being shot and going down, but you're over the water? What would you do? And lastly, if you're in the boats and you're trying to hurry up and get to these men, but you have to watch out for the bombs from the sky also, and other warships and things like that, and other dangers. So the movie, and I'm making it sound more simplistic than what it is, but this movie is a phenomenal masterpiece. I love this movie. I love the way the story is told. It's very easy to follow. Nolan takes his camera and he goes back and forth with the shots and the different stories. But it's very comprehensible, and he uses wide angle shots, it looks like, on the air flights, on the airplane shots. The production value is very high quality. You can tell they put a lot of work into this. The people who made this movie are deserving of the highest praise. Not to mention that Nolan himself, with the exception of two or three well-known people in this film, use relative unknowns, because he wanted people to focus on, from what I understand, the action and the music and the cinematography as opposed to who the actor was and things like that. And so you get kind of caught up in the performances of these unknown actors, but job well done on their part. The people behind the camera, job well done. Mr. Nolan, my hat's off to you, sir. This is a very well praiseworthy film, and I do hope that it finds a larger audience, as it should. Well, that's pretty much it for today's movie highlight. It's called Dunkirk. Again, it's from 2017. It's considered one of my top all-time films of all time. I do admire this film greatly. I do love it. It's a film that I could watch repeatedly and not be bored. I mean, there's so much action, so much stuff going on, so much emotional angles going on too. The emotional arc of this piece. But yeah, just give it a chance, and I hope that you all do enjoy it. But until we meet again, until our next movie highlight, take care, and I will see you guys hopefully on the next video. Bye-bye.